I really think Asian and Asian Americans, we're not really the victim. We're just, it's a group that needs to be empowered and
Right,
voiced. But 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 if it is overdone, it becomes like we have to play the victim
right,
to, to gain any empathy, or then that's a message that's not quite, like
right.
line up with the empowerment of this.
I think we are standing on the shoulders of our predecessors. So in a way, we are lucky. So I think it's our job to keep pushing forward, not backing down.
I would tell my younger self to question more of the information that I was receiving.
Be flexible, find very diplomatic ways to have conversations.
Sometimes it's okay to not agree on everything, as long as there is communication.
If singing's stressful, it's not fun. No one wants to listen to stressful singing either, you know?
And when I take a job on, I see whether or not it's like doing something new, or is it like there's a story worth telling.
Being so honest and humbled of like, where is your technique at? Do you have a competing sound in this business? And just being a bit more specific of what kind of singing you want to do, whether it be, do you want to just kind of do contemporary style? Do you want to do early music? Do you want to really do the, bel canto style? What kind of singers that are, 5, 10 years older than me, how are they singing? Why are they being so successful? And can I say honestly, am I on that same path on a technical vocal standpoint?
As I teach singers in master classes, is you already have a job. Whenever you audition, you're not going to get a job. You're going to do your job. And so you go sing. Sometimes you sing one, but to me, I tell them it's a 2 aria concert. You have to wow the audience. Of 3, maybe 4, sometimes 1.
I teach at Mannes School of Music. I teach my students how to write opera as well. So my hope is more and more composers from my generation, for sure. I know there are several others out there also writing, also younger generation, how to help them, to give them something that they can also hold on to continue writing, because there's already a path being created. So hopefully this path will get longer and wider and more smooth. One very important thing I always tell my student is, I know you chose to come to study with me, and I think, you have heard my music and that resonate with you. But if you want to write like me, I would say you are in the wrong place. I want you to write like who you are. Okay. As a teacher, we are, again, I did not make this up. This came from my old teacher from Shanghai. He would say he is like like a fertilized ground. And students, different students, they are like different kind of seeds. You are apple seed. She or he or they are pear seed. Someone is watermelon seed. Each seed should grow into, what kind of tree or what kind of plant that should be, instead of growing to something else. So I told my students, I will help you to find your voice. I could not give you a voice. I will provide you with tools, with aesthetics, with criticalness, because I think being an artist is easy to be just accepting yes, yes, yes to everything, but it's very hard to say no and being critical. I think being an artist, being able to criticize, being able to know what is no and when to say no and what's not good, that is an important step. So I could help students for that, but I cannot give them a voice, give them a style, and for that they need to find it. So that is the important first lesson I often give to my students.
Our Asian attitude, the submissive and demure attitude and all that, it's great. But we look like we're apologizing on stage. We should not do that.
Thanks to our own culture, we are a lot of times being told to be humble, to be modest, and we are not necessarily the most like showy person, leave the most showy first impression. So I think it hindered a lot of young performers. One thing, when I was at school in New York, my teacher told me after my solo recital, my teacher came to me like, it was a beautiful job. You know what I said? I said what I would normally say in Korean language. No is the first thing that we say. No, we deny our own self ability. We're not supposed to look too overly confident. We should not accept other people's compliments as they are. We are supposed to deny that first. No, I was this and I did this wrong and that wrong. And then maybe I can, oh, maybe it was okay. So I tell my Asian students and young ones, that is disrespecting other people's opinion about your artistry. That is very disrespectful of you. And when you are on stage, you are showing off what you've honed for years. Don't apologize for your shortcomings, right? Because that's not what the audience is there for. Honestly, showing up just by showing up every day and being authentic self, not playing along with the stereotypical idea they have in mind, in a way, it's a protest and a challenge to the status quo. So I think that's what I'm doing every day.
I have a specialty in character role category because I chose it as advised by my teacher when I was still in undergrad.
But I also took over 2 years to decide on which route to take, to take the lead role track, or am I to do the secondary roles?
He told me, you're Filipino, you're 5'6". You're skinny. You can pursue being a lead, or you can be realistic.
You know, my heart and personality is with all these romantic lead roles, but I had to be pragmatic.
Leading tenors are 5'9", sometimes 5'7", maybe 5'10" max. Can you imagine? Oh, look, it's the grandson of a god is 5'9", and the dwarf is 5'11". Because I'm a lyrical spinto, I could have been a lead tenor, but then I will be competing with everyone else who typically look like a lead tenor.
What would make you happier? Singing smaller roles in bigger houses or singing bigger roles in smaller houses? And I also knew that to have a career, I would have to get my foot into bigger houses.
Do you want to sing leads in C houses and B houses? Or do you want to sing comprimario roles in A houses?
You know, we're constantly trying to knock doors down. You see some certain Asian singers in lead roles sporadically, but how many Asian singers do you see singing character roles? You know, singing secondary tenor roles, who are doing comedy on stage, who are known as good actors on stage. And that's the way I thought of it. I thought we're gonna have to be pioneers anyway.
I've talked to some older singers and more established singers, and they say, careers are like an hourglass. You kind of like do everything and then you narrow into what your specialization is, and then you can open up again if you choose.
I really love new music and like experiencing things and sort of like having my own pathway. I think this is like my own creativity idea, because you sing the same old songs and you're going to be like, well, this is the best version of this song, but hey, this song was written. There is no best version because no one has recorded it.
But in my experience, the opera projects that I've been involved with really have been initiated through the composer. And I came as part of the composer's team, or the composer wanted me, or whatever. But opera is, I think, more of a composer's medium than a librettist medium. And the librettist is super important. Otherwise, you might just do a concert. But I guess, therefore, my advice is get to know composers.
Being an artist, that is a calling. Being an artist is not the easiest thing in the world, and also one must suffer through the solitude, suffer through the the blank piece of paper where you just could not create, but you are staring at it, is laughing at you, and you are doing something. You need to do something about.
Don't wait for somebody to allow you to be what it is that you know that you can be. I think the reason that I have a career at all is because I self-produced early on. I was interested in making things that were not there yet. And so I found ways to write music and to play it in front of people, and it was scrappy and we were not paid very much, but the music got out there, and I think the challenge is just to feel confident enough in yourself and what you have to offer, which is coming uniquely from you, that you just get it out into the world however you can. And then if you do that consistently, then people will see it. And then you'll get people coming along who'll say, yes, I want you to do this thing for me. And now I'm going to commission you. But that doesn't happen right away, right? You have to make your own opportunities at first.
That you have something interesting to say because you've lived your life. So don't be afraid to like talk about it. Don't be afraid to sing about it. Be afraid to like, show us what it is. And some people will not like it, but like you, again, it's like life. You can't please everybody.
Oh, just go and do it. Like, write to companies. That's what I did. Like, you write to 100 companies. One will say yes, maybe three. And it is true what your parents tell you. Not everyone's going to like you, and it's not your fault. It comes down to chemistry, personality, and you'll quickly, as you go through your career, of always knocking on doors and always trying, always meeting people, making friends, then you will somehow narrow down and find the same kind of your people, and you will quickly notice that when you're working with your people, the work will be fantastic. The people, if you're in sync with each other, it cannot help but be wonderful. Sometimes if you work with fabulous people, but there is just that chemistry is not there, no matter how hard everybody tries, it's never going to be as good. So don't worry about it, because and don't be afraid to fail. I've had a few spectacular failures, and I'm still here.
The thing about being nominated 4 times in that category at the Grammys, Best Classical Vocal Solo Album, I self-produced all of those albums. And that was, when I started doing that, was quite an unusual choice to be doing. And a lot of people say to me, oh, it's so amazing what you've done. You've really carved out this really unique path for yourself. And I'm always like, thank you. I appreciate that compliment. But also part of that has been out of necessity. I have had to create my own opportunities because they were not presented to me. I was not being courted by any major record label.
Do you think you'll get major labels contacting you now that you've won a Grammy for Best Opera Recording?
It's funny. So the Grammy award that I did win was with a major label, but that was because, again, that wasn't my project. That was the San Francisco Symphony, and
I see.
In particular, the conductor Esa-Pekka Salonen, who has a multiple decades relationship with this label, made that happen. So it was really for him that we were on that label. And despite that, despite having been nominated 5 times and having won 1 time, and I still have yet to hear from any of the major labels whether they would like to work with me.
I used to be super, super ambitious in the past. I need to be directing at this level, this level. I think these days I have a much more realistic view. So I think I stopped setting goals and or just expectations about how high I can go. I would just say every day I show up, I will try my best, deliver the best production I can provide, and see what's next for me.
There have been a number of other individuals who have come up behind, and I have sort of made a point to try to build a bridge, be a mentor to those individuals, whether it's, Mo, or Richard Gammon, or various other, Asian opera directors.
I assisted Matthew Ozawa almost 10 years ago, 2016. And that was the very first time I saw an Asian colleague, Asian director in the business. Around that time, I was thinking about quitting opera altogether because I just feel like it's too hard. There's no way I can even make the breakthrough. And it was really through witnessing and working alongside Matthew Ozawa make me realize, see the model of like the power of role model and trusting that, eventually grit and your work will speak for yourself.
I would have hoped that we would be a little bit further in terms of representation now, but
The phrase that Nina and I use is baby steps.